After decades of relative isolation in the global financial system, one of Iraq's most prominent banks, Rafidain Bank, has announced plans to open up international correspondent banking channels. That's a huge deal in itself, but it comes with a twist. There's a lot of skepticism around whether this move is even possible at the current exchange rate of 1310 Iraqi dinars to the US dollar. That number isn't just a statistic, it's central to the entire conversation. You might be wondering why this is even controversial. On paper, expanding internationally sounds like progress. But for many financial analysts, the timing seems off. If this kind of move was viable, why didn't Rafidain do it earlier, 10, 15, even 20 years ago? The obstacles then were similar, perhaps even fewer in some ways. What's changed now? To answer that, let's take a step back and look at Rafidain Bank itself. This isn't some small local institution trying to punch above its weight. Rafidain was established in 1941, and over the decades, it grew to become one of the cornerstones of Iraq's financial infrastructure. It played a key role in handling everything from government payrolls to business loans and savings accounts for everyday Iraqis. But as Iraq fell into political instability and conflict, especially after the 2003 invasion and the years of turmoil that followed, the bank's role and reach were significantly reduced. International sanctions, widespread economic sanctions, and structural damage to the country's infrastructure all contributed to a dramatic contraction in Iraq's banking capacity. Rafidain, like many other institutions, became largely inward-facing, focusing only on local operations and struggling with outdated systems. However, in recent years, there has been a noticeable shift. Rafidain Bank has been modernizing. That includes everything from introducing online banking and modern ATMs to attempting to align with more standardized regulatory frameworks. These aren't superficial upgrades. They're signs of a broader intention to transform from a traditional paper-heavy institution into one that could one day compete regionally, if not globally. So, what's changed now that makes international correspondent banking suddenly feel like an option? According to officials, it's part of a national strategy to reintegrate Iraq into the global financial system. Iraqi policymakers have been working on a broader set of banking and financial reforms aimed at restoring confidence, both domestically and internationally. These reforms include anti-money laundering policies, counter-terror financing measures, and attempts to clean up the public banking sector, which has long been criticized for being opaque and inefficient. The Iraqi government and central bank claim they are now prepared to support Rafidain's return to the international stage. But this is where things get complicated. Despite all these moves, one sticking point remains: the exchange rate. The current rate of 1310 dinars to $1 US is considered by many experts to be unfavorable for global transactions. It creates hurdles for foreign investment and complicates efforts to conduct high-volume trade deals. The reality is that for Iraq's banking system to thrive internationally, the dinar may need to appreciate in value, or at least become more stable. So the question becomes, why now and how? One theory is that Rafidain Bank and government planners believe they can stabilize or even increase the value of the dinar in the near future. That could involve a combination of increased oil revenues, stronger monetary policy, and perhaps even a managed float system that allows for gradual strengthening of the currency. If those measures succeed, Rafidain's international banking ambitions could be more feasible than they seem right now. Another possibility is that the bank is hoping to open international channels on a limited basis at first, partnering with a few trusted institutions to test the waters before going full scale. That way, they can build experience and credibility without taking on too much risk too soon. But even if the exchange rate were ideal, there's still another challenge: trust. Years of instability, corruption, and opaque financial reporting have damaged Iraq's image in the eyes of international investors. For Rafidain to succeed globally, it's not enough to modernize technology and tweak policies. The bank must rebuild international confidence, starting with transparency. This might involve adopting internationally recognized accounting standards, regularly publishing audited financial statements, and implementing stronger internal controls. The goal here is simple but essential: show the world that Rafidain Bank is stable, credible, and safe to do business with. At the same time, there's a growing sense of optimism within Iraq itself. While challenges remain, many citizens and businesses are seeing positive changes. The country is rebuilding, not just physically, but socially and economically. Roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals are being reconstructed. Public services, while still inconsistent, are improving. The government is starting to respond more actively to citizens' demands, especially those calling for accountability and better living standards. This civic engagement is most evident among Iraq's youth. The younger generation is more connected to the world than ever before. They use technology, follow global trends, and are eager to start businesses and find new opportunities. These young Iraqis are becoming a major driving force for change. They want institutions they can trust. They want banks that are modern, efficient, and ready to connect with the outside world. And it's not just internal energy that's fueling this moment. International observers, governments, businesses, nonprofits, are also watching Iraq closely. Many see the country's vast oil reserves, strategic location, and young population as key advantages. Several organizations have stepped in to offer support and training programs, particularly in areas like finance, education, and job skills development. All of this contributes to a growing sense that Iraq is not just recovering, it's evolving. Of course, we can't ignore the challenges. Security remains an issue in certain areas. Infrastructure gaps are still a concern. Corruption and bureaucracy haven't been completely eliminated. But there is movement, measurable movement, toward improvement. And that's what makes Rafidain's announcement so significant. It's not just about one bank opening up international channels. It's about a nation signaling that it wants to rejoin the global community, not as a passive participant, but as an active player. If you're finding this discussion insightful, please take a second to give this video a like. It really helps us reach more people who care about these topics. And drop a comment below. What do you think about Rafidain Bank's timing? Is the move realistic given the exchange rate and Iraq's economic conditions? We'd love to hear your thoughts. To wrap up, let's keep things in perspective. Iraq is in the middle of a transition. Like planting a seed, growth takes time. You don't get fruit overnight. You nurture it, care for it, and wait. That's exactly where Iraq stands today. And while it may take months or even years for the full impact of these reforms to be felt, the steps being taken now will shape the country's future. So the big question we're left with is, can Rafidain Bank pull this off? Will it successfully re-establish itself on the global stage? Or will the weight of unresolved issues hold it back? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is a moment worth watching. If you found this video informative, please share it with friends and consider subscribing to the channel for more in-depth breakdowns of financial developments, economic reform, and international news stories that matter. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay thoughtful, and we'll see you in the next one.